What's up, the Fellas Fantasy Football League? We are now in the final week of the league season, the championship week. You may notice that I am riding solo as far as commissioner wise. That's because Ryan is in the hospital. Nothing's wrong with him, but his wife, she is spitting out a human from her orifice. She's having a baby happening right now as we speak. So congratulations to Ryan. Congratulations to KJ for having a baby 2 days ago. They are both going to be in Memorial Hospital together at the same time. And then Ryan and I's other friend, Ronnie, who Donald also knows, is having a kid tomorrow at Memorial. So it's going to be a packed house at Memorial. Of course, just had your baby, 2 months ago?
Yes.
Month and a half ago?
No, hold on. Me? Sorry, I was driving. He is a month and a day.
Month and a day. There you go.
Mhm.
Babies everywhere. So we've got Lindo, we've got Matt, the 1 and 2 seed that have made the championship. So I know, Matt, you don't drink, and Lindo, you're driving, but cheers to you guys.
Fair enough.
Thank you for joining. Any before I guess we get going, because obviously we'll talk about your last matchup and then your future one. Any thoughts to start with, Matt?
Well, I'm glad that Brees Hall had a good game. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a good one. I think we both have pretty good matchups. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring championship. I think it's cool that the first and second seed are actually playing in the championship. That actually doesn't happen too often. So I'm stoked. I hope that I win. And I'm glad that Josh Jacobs is doubtful this week because I'm going to play Zamir White. So
yeah, he's not. I benched him in another league. I don't think he's going to play. Lindo, any opening comments?
To piggyback on Matt's comment, I'm actually in a different championship where we're 1 and 2, and the third championship, second place got knocked out by a point. Otherwise, that would have been all 1 and 2 championships, which is kind of funny because it's rare. That being said, I need Josh Jacobs to play because I think Zamir White's going to have a really good PPR week. So with Chase, we'll see what Chase happens with Chase. I know Keenan Allen's already been ruled out. Some of your definitely big time players are either out or possibly out. So I need you think it's gonna be close, but I am gonna need a little bit of help to keep it close. So not wishing for any injuries, but if you guys want to throw up some judge, I wouldn't mind.
Totally. Is that sharing the sleeper screen? Can you guys see the sleeper webpage?
Yeah.
All right. So 2 matchups last week of note. You know, there was, of course, the toilet bowl that Joey took part of. So not that it matters, but Joey is the toilet bowl champion. He is the worst team in the league, so he's the butler, and he'd probably be the last person to pay as well. So Joey, come on, we gotta figure something else out. Let's go ahead and start with we'll start with this one with Lindo and Tyson because it didn't end up being that close of a match. It was starting out like it was going to be. And you know, I think one thing that kind of hurt, and I'll let you guys give your thoughts. Obviously, Amari Cooper scoring 50 points. How do you account for that? You don't. That's impressive, to say the least. Well, I think one thing that kind of hurt Tyson a little bit, to be honest with you, is the Lamar Jackson probably could have had more points in that game had there not been as many turnovers because he always had a short field, so he didn't get as many yards. But he did look pretty well, I thought, in that game. What did you guys notice about this matchup aside from Amari Cooper going fucking bananas?
Let's see. Unfortunately, okay, there we go. So, yeah, Jackson probably could have had an easy 40. The rest of the team, ETN hasn't had good 2-3 weeks, but that's probably gonna be changed this week. Lamb, Olave. I think Kincaid really hurt. He's since Knox came back, he really hasn't done much. That's probably a position I either would have went from a bench or at least some waiver wire. I think Kraft might have been out there. Maybe Conklin. I just don't have a lot of faith in Kincaid. I mean, besides that, he really started everyone he could have. It's just like you said, how do you account for a guy going for over 250 yards receiving? And I mean, they really lucked out there. It wasn't for that. Let's say he scores what he's projected, it's a lot closer. If not a loss on my end. So yeah, that's about it for there.
Yeah. I mean, even if Amari Cooper only does half of what he did, 25 points, you still would have won. But that kind of was the nail in the coffin. Even if Tyson played his absolute best lineup, 1 point from Addison, he could have had Thielen there and got 14 extra points. He still would have been trounced. So just a wrong week for him. Nobody would have beat you last week. Not one person. Did you notice anything in this matchup?
I think it was crazy, and I commend him for playing Baker Mayfield instead of Tua, because I'm kind of going with like how it's the opposite, is that even if I have like bad matchups in the playoffs, I want to go with guys who got me there. So going with Mayfield, I thought was pretty crazy. But it turned out to not really matter, but that was a good move. And then Kincaid, I can't believe like somebody going from so good to such shit so quick, because he's not getting looks. He's not like nothing. It's crazy to score all those points and then what, he have 0 and then 1.
Yeah, he had 15, 17, 16, 16, 10, 8, 7, and then 0 and 1.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then Amari Cooper too going off. I mean, that's what you need in the playoffs, though. I mean,
right.
If I had Breece Hall score almost 50 points, I think he had like 40, 41 or 43.
Yeah, he had a lot.
And if he didn't do that, I probably it would have been a lot closer. Or I might have lost. I'm not sure.
So we'll get to your matchup in a second. I have a question for Lindo. What led you to make that change to Baker Mayfield instead of Tua?
I want to say it was matchup dependent, and Mayfield was he's having a little hot streak with just pass yards and touchdowns, and I was trying to ride the hot hand, and I'm trying to get every point out there because I'm assuming I'm coming in as an underdog, and I need every point I can. So yeah, Tua's Tua, but I was kind of I always do my research in playoffs, and he hasn't finished as higher than QB9 like in 6 or 7 straight weeks. And that wasn't going to do it for me against, in the playoffs. I need as many points as I can. Mayfield's just chucking the rock, averaging over 280 yards and I think a couple touchdowns. So I'm hoping that with a stack of Godwin was going to get me over. And again, take away Cooper, it could have made the difference. But I mean, Cooper there didn't need it. But yeah, that was my thought process. I'm trying to get every point on the board against Tyson because I'm assuming I'm going to need him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. It doesn't hurt to get 22 points from your kicker as well. So hey, good week, solid win. Tyson just ran into a buzzsaw, but hey, congratulations, Tyson got keys to their new house today. So congratulations on that. You don't have to worry about getting the new house and being in the championship at the same time. So it's probably a load up. All right, let's go to the other matchup, the one that it was looking like it was going to be close the whole way through. It ended up very close. Some things here that I was taking a look at, like you said, Breece Hall, 43 points. You needed every bit of them. Let's see, you won by 14 points, sure, but he was projected to get 15, right? So if he does half what he did, you lose. So that's pretty awesome right there, I'd say, especially since he's like the only thing they have right now.
Yeah. And that's why I played him too, is just because I mean, I was going to play him that week anyways, but I played him this week too. It's just because they go with that quarterback, Simeon, they went to him constantly last week. I think he had like 16 targets, which is nuts for a running back. And then this week he had 9 targets. So that's why I was going with him. Again, I was kind of going back and forth.
16
Like, what am I
targets.
going to
Holy
do?
shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
And 20 rushes. 20
Mhm.
attempts, 16. Jesus. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And in fantasy, when like opportunities are gold, that's what you want is opportunities. I mean, that you can't ask for anything better than that. 20 rushing yards and 12 receptions, or 20 rushes and 12 receptions. It's 32 touches. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that
So,
is.
but yeah.
Yeah, because you got kind of fucked over because you played, Deontay Johnson,
Fuck
and
that guy.
everything went to Pickens. Porta had an
Dude.
off week. Your kicker
Yeah.
went out early. What kicker pull a hamstring? What the fuck?
I don't pay attention to them. All I saw is that he was out with 2 points, and I was like, damn, dude, this is starting off shitty because last week when I was on the podcast thing, I was gonna start either Dontavian Wicks or Romeo Dobbs. And that morning I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Deontay Johnson. I've had him the whole year, so I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah.
And fuck, he screwed me so bad. So when that happened, I was like, this is gonna be rough, this is gonna be rough. But then luckily I had a few guys go off pretty well. Zeke again, Ezekiel Elliott is another guy that, he plays so many snaps, they just go to him all the time. So hopefully that'll happen again this week. I hope Justin Jefferson should go off, I'm hoping, because Mullins can get him the ball. So that's good. Cup, hopefully he doesn't take a shit like last week. What did Cup score last week?
Cup scored 10, I think.
Yeah, 10 points. Fuck, I can't be having my wide receiver 2 scoring just 10 points,
So, Lindo, maybe I'll come to you on this question. Yeah, Matt brought up Ezekiel Elliott here, who I think's kind of come on late in the season. I don't know that I've ever seen Ezekiel Elliott get 11 targets receiving.
Well, the big thing about that, Stevenson's out for the remainder of the season, and that was their pass catching running back right there.
Mhm.
I want to say he went out that game, maybe. If that's the case, that would explain, because I don't think they had another pass catching back there. I don't know if they brought anyone else back in, but if they didn't, it's going to be Zeke all over again. Whether they're up in the score or down, he's going to get maybe, I don't know, 8 targets. If he takes 5 of those for 30, that's already over a touchdown just in reception and yards. And then if he can, just get lucky and land in the end zone, his floor is already at 14.
Yeah.
So he's your right now your prototypical flex play. You're going to get 14. Hopefully one of your other main guys go off, kind of get some consistent points there. But to side note, for Matt, I'm very sure I saw today or yesterday that Mullins is not going to start. I think
he's not. He's not.
So I know that because I was going to start Mullins in another league. And I want to say yesterday they said, I don't know who their backup is, but Mullins won't be starting somebody else.
Yeah,
so Jaron Hall, but then there's also Dobbs, but they benched Hall for Mullins. So are they going to now go? Oh fuck, they're not
going back to Dobbs. So
right. So they announced a guy. I didn't recognize the name. And unfortunately, I can't get off this app without it restarting on me. So I can't pick. There you go. That's where we got the commission right here. But yeah, I know that because I wanted to start another guy in a different league. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I don't know anything about him. I don't know how the offense is going to go. I'm assuming more Ty Chandler, which is good for me. Or maybe they go all in on the run, force him to pass, which sucks for me and good for you. So we'll find out here. It's kind of a really interesting variable for this game.
Yeah.
So last question for you, Lindo, before we move on to your guys' matchup. What in the fuck got into the Steelers offense all of a sudden? They scored 34 points. I don't think you guys had scored 20 points in a game all season.
So it's funny because I looked that up, actually. As a Steelers fan, I'm very not happy this year with our offense. I think out of, 15 games, they've hit 20 points 8 times, but they've also hit 10 points or under 6 times. So the thing is our offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, he should have been a coordinator. He was playing high school offense in the NFL, which didn't work out. no audibles, no screens, no motion. They took him out very first game, first 400-yard offensive game in 52 games. But that being said, it's still very, very basic. Coming Rudolph or Kenny Pickett, this guy is the preseason legend, but regular season horrible. I don't know what he did, what he ate his Wheaties, but he went nuts. I'd like to see more of that. But Seahawks don't have a horrible defense, but I don't think we're going to see Pickens do what he does. Probably more Deontay Johnson.
Or Warren.
Or maybe not. I don't know. It's up to Matt, really, if he wants to play him or not.
No, I dropped his ass. Fuck that. After the 3 points, I dropped him. And I actually picked up Lockett.
So he's probably going to go for like 10 for 100 and 2 TDs now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But I don't trust that off. If I'm being honest, I can see another I don't know, 250 yard total offense, 2 picks, no touchdowns. We win 13-10. That just kind of seems how the Steelers way. So there's no confidence there.
So my last, actually, so before we get to your matchup, I want to highlight you, Matt, right here real quick. Not just you. I want to highlight your Raiders. And it's more of a question about Patrick Mahomes. And I think, obviously you guys have heard me talk shit on KJ and his 3 quarterback, 2 defense roster. I think it finally came back to bite him in the ass a little bit. So his team really didn't put up that. I mean, he still put up 144 points. If he was playing Tyson, he still would have won. I just don't like the optics of having that many quarterbacks and defense. I feel like you should have more players and other. Anyways, what's up with Mahomes? Is it a wide receivers can't catch the ball, so he doesn't trust them? I mean, Kelsey's having it down. Like, is maybe their time? What do you think? I mean, you watch them probably closer than I do, being a Raiders fan.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is I think it's their wide receivers are so bad and they drop the ball so much that defenses are double and triple teaming Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce looks old. He's dropping passes. So Mahomes has no one to go to.
Shot.
And you could see him in that game so fucking mad and frustrated and just so tired. After the game, they said he ran for over 1,000 yards but running side to side and literally just running for his life. He had nobody to throw to. He's tired. He's trying to put the team on his back, and they're just not like they were before. I don't know if it's as much Pat Mahomes, but it's the team for sure, and it's also his mental state. He hasn't had to deal with this shit. I mean, they've been to the AFC Championship, like 5 years in a row, maybe? Something like that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And you can see that he hasn't dealt with this type of adversity in his career, and I think he's crumbling. I could see, this is no shit, I could see the Chiefs losing out. And if this is, I don't know if the Raiders are going to win out, but if the Chiefs do lose out and the Raiders win out, the Raiders would win the division. Now, I don't trust the Raiders offense at all. Their defense is fucking awesome. They've been awesome since Antonio Pierce took over. And but the Chiefs could possibly not win another game this year. And if that happens,
Yeah, they're playing Cincinnati this week and the Chargers the following week. Yeah, that would be awesome. I agree with you, dude. I'm a Niners fan, but I like watching the Raiders succeed because they haven't in 4 decades. So I don't hate on them. It's like kicking a dead horse, But I do like Max Crosby. I love that Robert Spillane linebacker. I think they've got a good defense. I can't stand a fucking quarterback's mustache, but whatever.
It's so bad. It's almost like he's wearing it to be funny, but he's not like a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, It's such a simple, stupid fucking mustache. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do something with it or shave it off. Fuck.
So, yeah, and one thing I did look before we get into your matchup, I wanted to see because I sent Tyson a meme. It's like, who's the guy that didn't make playoffs but still follows to see if they would have won the championship if shit was different. That's me. And so I would have gotten my ass whipped by Lindo last week. So I think the 2 teams that are in the championship are the 2 best teams, obviously 1 and 2. So I'm excited to see you guys face off. I know we gave you a lot of shit, Lindo, for having a weak points against which you did have a weak points against, but you also put up a lot of points. So kudos to you. Let's take a look at this matchup. Matt, you already got 27.6 points from Brees Hall, so that's awesome. Do you remember what he was projected at getting?
I think it was like 13.
Got you. So he doubled his projection. What are we thinking here? So Lindo, what are some of the areas that you might concern you on your roster? And what are some of the areas that you feel confident about?
I'm not too worried about Williams against the Giants. He really should get about 20 plus points. He'll be one of my big hitters. I'm hoping he plays. He's trending towards it, but we'll see. No Waddle, so he'll be targeted more. If he does play and he plays throughout plays the whole game, he should give me about 20-ish points. So my big hitters, if they play, should be all right. My biggest concern, Bijan, guy's so talented. He's out of this world, like generational talent at running back. And his coach is doing everything in his power to make sure that he does not see the field or touch the ball. And it blows my mind. He has one of the most athletic tight ends, one of the best receivers, one of the best running backs. And if I remember correctly, he had a presser saying that he wants to do what the teams think. He doesn't want to do what the teams think they're going to do, which means to give the ball to his best players. So let's give it to who's the other tight end?
Johnny Smith.
It's Johnny Smith. Yeah, Smith had like a 3 or 4 run where he was going nuts because Pitts was getting nothing because everyone's expecting Pitts. Algier, I mean, to his credit, Algier is a good running back. He's really complimentary to Bijan. He can be maybe a 1A somewhere. He won there, which he's doing for the Falcons. Why give it to Bijan, who's gonna maybe force 4 or 5 missed tackles? And let's just give it to Algier, see what he does. It blows my mind what they do there. So Bijan can go 6 points or he can go for 30. And it's really up to Arthur Smith. Yeah, Arthur Smith. McBride, I'm hoping for a good game. I do have a question mark on my flexes. I really want to play Cooks. He was on fire for 2 weeks. He's going nuts. Last week had a little bit of a dud. Going to play against New England, who's good against the rush. And I want to say they played the rush. We played Bills well, I believe, last time we played a few weeks ago. Chandler's my biggest concern because I believe Madison's coming back. I know they want to play Chandler more than Madison, but it's in the Dome. It's at home against Green Bay, who's one of the worst. I think the bottom 3 against the rush. I think they average running backs against them average 18.4 points a game. I know this because I've been watching a lot of videos lately. My concern there.
Specific.
Yeah, so yes, I've watched a lot of videos. This championship, I can't half-ass it.
So I know that what's it called? Madison actually came back last week, and that's the thing is that you didn't even know he came back because he only had 4 touches. So it's Chandler's backfield for sure. So I think that's a good start.
Chandler only had 8 touches.
Yeah, but look at the percent played.
He was in for 65%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and
that's what I'm saying.
I want to see that. Yeah. I'm not going to start. Spoiler alert. I'm not going to start HN. He's only going to win and he's only going to do good in blowouts. I think it'd be a close game. I would love to have Cooper.
Well, and they're playing the Ravens, which we all saw on Monday night. The Ravens defense is legit.
Right. Cooper would have been. He's the one I was really hoping was going to play. I was hoping to have Cooper and Hill, and have about 50 points give or take combined. That was my go. That was my hope. What's his face? Moore, I believe. I think it was Moore. I was having a great game until he got knocked out. So right now, my biggest concerns right now are probably my flexes. Does Chandler, does Chandler give me a good amount? Cook, do they stop him? Bijan. So if they can have a good game, I should be all right. And that's where I'm leaning right now.
Yeah. Matt, what's concerning you about your team or your matchup? What are you excited about? Aside from Brees Hall, what's going on with your team?
Okay, so starting off, I think we have I have Josh Allen going and he has Cook going. So one of those two is going to have a good game and one of them's not. Unless, Josh Allen's throwing touchdown passes to Cook. But it's like a couple weeks ago, Cook went off. It was the Cook show. He's scoring touchdowns. They're just rushing it. Allen only had 15 or 17 points. But then last week, Allen went off see what do you have? What did Cook have?
36, 25,
Yeah.
16, 19.
Yeah, his last week or not last week, but the week before, and then see which the one that 17 points, and that's when Cook went off. So
Right.
if that's going to go one way or the other for us. When it goes to Swift, I love Swift. When you watch, you can see his fucking talent, and I can't stand that they give Gainwell every single fucking third down. And if they convert the third down, they keep Gainwell in for like 3 or 4 more plays. It fucking pisses me off. I think that's the dumbest shit ever. Swift should be a 3-down back because that's what he did in Detroit that he was so good at, was catching the ball in the fucking backfield. That shit irritates me. But so hopefully he goes off. He has a smash matchup against the fucking Cardinals. So hopefully I'm hoping he scores a couple touchdowns because he has to score it from 5 yards out, at least, because if they get it any close, then he gets his fucking touchdowns vultured by Jalen Hurts with that stupid push bullshit. So that's what worries me about that. I didn't know that Mullins wasn't playing, so now I'm worried about Jefferson, but you can't not play Jefferson. I hope Kupp has a good game. I'm worried about Laporta against Dallas. I think McBride's going to go off. So Ezekiel Elliott, I like what Linda was saying about his floor. I feel that same way. And Zamir White has looked fucking absolutely awesome the past 2 weeks. I think he rushed for like 149 last week. So I'm hoping he can give me some touchdowns. I know that Indianapolis is a shit rush defense. So hopefully that works out. I picked up McLaughlin because he has 2 guys from Tampa Bay going. McLaughlin's a pretty good kicker. So if they don't score and they're in the red zone, I get points from the kicker. And then also if they do score a touchdown, I at least get 1 point taken off of their touchdown because he would kick the extra point. Buffalo, I like this game for them, except that I have Ezekiel Elliott going. So if Elliott scores a touchdown, if it's like the first touchdown or second, it's going to lose me points. But I think that they're going to get sacks and interceptions. So not too worried about that. If Jamar Chase does play, I'm still not going to play him over Zamir White or Ezekiel Elliott. I'm worried he had a hurt shoulder enough to where they thought he was going to be out a couple weeks. So I'm not going to trust that. Keenan Allen is out, so I don't have him. Tyler Lockett, if I was thinking about playing Tyler Lockett just because of the irony of it. Like if Lindo dropped him, then I picked him up and played him, and then he goes off. But he also does. I mean, he gets 8 or 9 targets a week. So again, there's the opportunity. It's just he hasn't been scoring touchdowns except for last week, I think. So he has a good target share. He has a good first look share. I think it's like 24%. So Romeo
What do you do
Dobbs
about Chase?
again. Yeah, no, I won't play Chase. I'm not going to play Chase this week, no matter what. I just can't trust it. The worst thing that could happen is him go out there in the first quarter and re-injure it because it's not close to healed. It's an AC joint sprain, lifting his arm up over his shoulder. So if he gets hurt in the first quarter, the second quarter, something like that, I could be fucked. So
yeah.
And then Raheed Shaheed, I really have this feeling about him this week. But again, I want to go with guys that got me here. But he's playing Tampa Bay, which is a horrible pass defense. And I think that with Baker Mayfield, how he's playing, because he worries me because he's been doing so good that I think that could end up being a shootout. It's called a fantasy carnival, a fantasy circus, where it just keeps going and they just keep trading scores. So I think Shaheed might have a big game, but I still can't play him over Zamir White. I think Zamir White's going to have a great game. And even though in my I drafted, right, yeah, no, he's doubtful already. So, but how I drafted, it was zero running back. I was all wide receiver, and I think it's crazy that we're in the championship and I'm playing 4 running backs and only 2 receivers.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat right there.
Yeah, I think you had the best name of the year. I'm not sure if everybody caught on to it though, because zero to hero running back, because you did the zero running back last year, and then you did the hero running back this year.
Yeah, I knew you were a
clever name.
I knew it for you.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. So that's kind of cool. We got 4.5 minutes left because I have the free version of Zoom. I'd like to give you guys one last parting shot at each other or at the league if you want to call outs, whoever you want. Want to give you 30 seconds. We'll do 30 seconds instead of a minute because a minute's a long time. So Matt, give me your 30-second. Why are you going to be the champion and whatever you want to say.
Why do you deserve to be in Hell's Kitchen? I just want to say that I'm glad to be playing Lindo because I think he's great at fantasy football. I like all the insights he has. I'm gonna win though because I need to win this championship. If I win, I'm going to use some of the winnings to buy a championship belt for this league. So I'm gonna win and I'm gonna buy that belt. And I guess the last thing that I want to say is sorry about it, Tyson. Maybe next year, bud, but not this year.
I like it. Lindo, what's your 30 seconds? Why should you be the champion?
Well, first and foremost, congrats to all the new dads. Dads who are dads again. Really cool feeling. Obviously, I'm a new dad too, so I get that. As far as the leagues go, number 2 seed really worked out. I would have lost to everybody in round 1 of the playoffs, and then you guys really did me a solid for letting me have the number 2 seed. So thank you, league. Thank you to everybody having the worst games against me. Really appreciated that. That was really cool. I am gonna win though because I do have a newborn and he eats a lot, so I need to buy that formula. With my winnings, I'm fortunate enough to be in 3 championships. If I win them all, I'm gonna have a night of drinking for everybody in the league. Again, requirements: you have to have group me. Matt, you can have 2 days of free drinking on me, and maybe I'll get that belt along too.
All right. I love it, guys. I love it. Yeah. Congratulations to the new dads. Again, Linda or not Linda, KJ, which I know you're kind of preoccupied right now. Joey, Binger, get your payments in. So that way, whoever of these guys wins can get their money. Matt, you're getting money anyways. Somebody grab Doug's phone and put group me on it so he can join us next year. We are going to have one more podcast next week with whoever of you are the champion. And that will be the last time that we mentioned to Doug that he needs to get group me before I think we decided on April, or he will be out of the league. And we don't want to see that. We love you, Doug. We want to see you come be a part of us. Gentlemen, good luck. It's going to be a fun week. Everything's on Sunday. Well, except I think there's 2 games tomorrow, maybe 3, but everything's Sunday. So Sunday night, we're going to know who the champion is. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you. I'll see you
Peace
next
out.
week on the podcast.
All right. I love it. All right. See you guys.
Bye.